Long time, how some ancient peoples ended was a secret. Whole groups of people who were powerful in their time just disappeared. They left behind only their empty, silent cities. We thought we'd never hear from them again. But what if they left us one last message? Not long ago, a team of scientists in a faraway place found something incredible by accident. They found the last words of a group of people forgotten for ages. And what these words say is more surprising than we ever thought. These are their final messages, and they are making us change how we see the ancient world. Section 1. The King Who Defeated Midas. History has many famous names, but the best stories are often the ones we don't know. In the fields of southern Turkey, a farmer was digging a ditch for water when his shovel hit something hard. It was not a rock. It was a stone block covered in strange, beautiful writing that no one had seen for almost 3,000 years. When scientists arrived, they started to solve a puzzle no one knew was there. The stone was a marker celebrating a big win, and it was covered in an ancient writing called Luwian. This old language is very hard to read, but as the experts worked on it, a voice from the past started to tell its story. The stone belonged to a king named Hartapu. Before this, King Hartapu was like a ghost. His name was found in a few places, but historians didn't really know who he was. This stone was his life story, and it made a claim so big it changed history. King Hartapu said he completely beat the kingdom of Phrygia, the famous empire ruled by King Midas. For years, historians thought Phrygia was the strongest power in that area back then. But Hartapu's words tell a different story. One sentence on the stone says the gods gave the other kings to him. This was not just a small fight. Hartapu claimed he beat a group of 13 kings in 1 year. This single stone, found in a muddy ditch, gave a lost king his voice back. It also showed that a huge, powerful kingdom had been completely forgotten. Scientists now think a nearby hill was Hartapu's main city, one of the biggest in the ancient world. A kingdom strong enough to fight King Midas was not a story. It was real, and its final message was waiting for us this whole time. Section 2. The Alphabet of a Ghost Empire. Now let's go from a forgotten king to the sunny coast of Spain. This place is home to one of Europe's biggest mysteries, the people of Tartessos. They did very well over 2,500 years ago. The ancient Greeks said they were incredibly rich. But then, they just disappeared, and we can't read their language. Until now. While digging at a large, old site, scientists found something that looks simple, but is very important. A flat piece of stone. It did not have treasure on it. Instead, carved on its edge was a list of 21 symbols, their alphabet. This is one of the best examples of their writing ever found. It is from about 2,600 years ago, and it is basically a practice sheet. It captures a moment when someone was learning how to write. Imagine that. A notepad from 2,600 years ago. The stone is broken, so scientists think their full alphabet may have had even more letters. So why is this such a big deal? Because an alphabet is the key to understanding a whole group of people. It is the basics of their language, their ideas, and their stories. For a mysterious group like the Tartessians, this is like finding a key that could unlock everything. It's a final word from them, not in a full sentence, but in the letters they use to make sentences. It gives us hope that we might one day read the lost stories of this forgotten kingdom. We are figuring out the final messages from people who lived long ago. If you think this trip into the past is as interesting as I do, please subscribe and join our group of history lovers. There are many more secrets to find. Section 3. Voices from the Undeciphered World. Some last words are loud and clear, like a king talking about his victory. Others are quiet, like an alphabet on a stone. But the most mysterious last words are the ones we can see, but cannot understand. Around the world, there is writing from powerful groups of people that we still cannot read at all. Their final messages are locked in a code we have not broken. Look at the Indus Valley people. who lived thousands of years ago in what is now Pakistan and India. They left behind thousands of short messages on small stones and clay pots. We call it the Indus script. Even though the smartest people have tried for years, no one can read a single word. This was a huge group of people, and we have no idea what they were trying to tell us. It's for over 100 years. In Mexico, the Olmec people left behind the oldest writing in the Americas, but we do not know what it means. And on the island of Crete, a script called Linear A is still a mystery. These unreadable writings are the biggest unsolved mysteries of the past. They remind us how much can be forgotten. Every symbol is a last word from a group that disappeared. Their ideas, fears, and successes are all stuck in silence. But they also give us an exciting hope. The day we figure out one of these writings, it will be like hearing 1,000 voices speak at once after thousands of years of silence. Section 4. Rewriting the Dawn of Civilization. Sometimes the most important last words are not written down. They are built out of stone. For a long time, the story of how people started living together seemed simple. First, people learned to farm, then they built towns, and only after that did they develop big, shared beliefs. But then scientists started digging on a hill in Turkey called Göbekli Tepe, and that whole story was completely changed. From over 11,500 years ago, Göbekli Tepe is the oldest temple known in the world. It's made of huge stone pillars shaped like a T, some weigh over 10 tons, and are covered with amazing carvings of fierce animals. This was not built by a small group. It was made by a very organized group of people. And here is the most surprising part. Göbekli Tepe was built before farming, before people made clay pots, and before they started living in one place. These people hunted animals and gathered plants for food. They came together to build this giant structure, something so difficult to build, it would be hard even for us. And then they went their separate ways, and it was not the only one. It is the middle of a large holy area now called the Stone Hills, and other amazing sights are being discovered there too. This is the last word from a group of people we never knew about. They did not leave writing, but they left a message that is maybe even more powerful. Carved into the solid rock, their message is this: we were here. We were smart and organized. We understood art and building thousands of years before the first cities. They make us ask a big question. What if our shared beliefs did not come after we built towns? What if the need to come together and build these holy places is what started it all? Their final message is not a story. It changes the whole story of how we began. Conclusion. The lingering mystery. We have seen the kingdom we found again, the alphabet of a people who disappeared, the quiet writings we cannot read, and the stone buildings that changed the story of the beginning of people. The last words of these lost groups are not just interesting things from the past. They are like living talks we are just starting to have with people from long, long ago. Every new discovery shows that history is not just an old, dusty book. It's an investigation happening right now, where one stone can change what experts believed for 100 years. These messages show us that whole groups of people can disappear, but their last messages can survive, waiting quietly for thousands of years. It makes you think, what other last words are still under the ground? What surprising new information from people we do not even have a name for is waiting to be heard? And when they finally start to speak, what will they tell us about who we used to be and who we are now? The past is never really gone, and it is not finished talking to us yet.